Hello, my dear friends. Here I am with a new but very old Bengali folk tale, and I am reading this story from Folktales of Bengal, which was written by Lal Bihari Dey. This book was first published in the year 1883, and this very book was published in the year 1912. So let's proceed with the next story. What story is in our hand today? So we are in the 11th story. The 11th story is the adventures of the two thieves and of their sons. So it is going to be a 20 page, almost 20 page story. So we will try to sum up this story by reading for like 2 weeks, because 3 days we are going to read each day like 3 pages. So let's start. Let's visit to the page. Okay, so the adventures of two thieves and of their sons. Let me please rotate this view so that it will be easy for me to read. So let's start. The Adventures of Two Thieves and of Their Sons, Part 1. Once on a time, there lived two thieves in a village who earned their livelihood by stealing. As they were well known thieves, every act of theft in the village was ascribed to them, whether they committed it or not. They therefore left the village, and being resolved to support themselves by honest labor, went to a neighboring town for service. Both of them were engaged by a householder. The one had to tend a cow, and the other to water a champaka plant. The elder thief began watering the plant early in the morning, and as he had been told to go on pouring water till some of it collected itself round the foot of the plant, he went on pouring bucketful after bucketful, but to no purpose. No sooner was the water poured on the foot of the plant than it was forthwith sucked up by the thirsty earth, and it was late in the afternoon when the thief, tired with drowning water, laid himself down on the ground and fell asleep. The younger thief fared no better. The cow which he had to tend was the most vicious in the whole country. When taken out of the village for pasturage, it galloped away to a great distance with its tail erect. It ran from one paddy field to another and ate the corn and trod upon it. It entered into sugarcane plantations and destroyed the sweet cane, for all which damage and acts of trespass the neatherd was soundly rated by the owners of the fields. What with running after the cow from field to field, from pool to pool, what with the abusive language poured not only upon him but upon his forefathers up to the 14th generation by the owners of the fields in which the corn had been destroyed. The younger thief had a miserable day of it. After a world of trouble, he succeeded about sunset in catching hold of the cow, which he brought back to the house of his master. The elder thief had just roused himself from sleep when he saw the younger one bringing in the cow. Then the elder said to the younger, "Brother, why are you so late in coming from the fields?" Younger, "What shall I say, brother? I took the cow to that part of the meadow where there is a tank near which there is a large tree. I let the cow loose and it began to graze about without giving the least trouble. I spread my gamcha a kind of towel upon the grass under the tree, and there was such a delicious breeze that I soon fell asleep and I did not wake till after sunset. And when I awoke, I saw my good cow grazing contentedly, contentedly at the distance of a few paces. But how did you fair brother, elder? Oh, as for me, I had a jolly time of it. I had poured only one bucketful of water on the plant when a large quantity rested around it, so my work was done, and I had the whole day to myself. I laid myself down on the ground. I meditated on the joys of this new mode of life. I whistled, I sang, and at last fell asleep, and I am up only this moment. When this talk was ended, the elder thief, believing that what the younger thief had said was true, thought that tending the cow was more comfortable than watering the plant, and the younger thief, for the same reason, thought that watering the plant was more comfortable than tending the cow. Each therefore resolved to exchange his own work for that of the other. Elder, well, brother, I have a wish to tend the cow. Suppose tomorrow you take my work and I yours. Have you any objection? Younger, not the slightest, brother. I shall be glad to take up your work, and you are quite welcome to take up mine. Only let me give you a bit of advice. I felt it rather uncomfortable to sleep nearly the whole of the day on the bare ground. If you take a charpoy is a kind of bed, charpoy with you, you will have a merry time of it. Early the following morning, the elder thief went out with a cow to the fields, not forgetting to take with him a charpoy for his ease and comfort. And the younger thief began watering the plant. The latter had thought that one bucketful, or at the outside two bucketfuls of water would be enough. But what was his surprise when he found that even 100 bucketfuls were not sufficient to saturate the ground around the roots of the plant. He was dead tired with drowning water. The sun was almost going down, and yet his work was not over. At last he gave it up through sheer weariness. The elder thief in the fields was in no better case. He took the cow beside the tank which the younger thief had spoken of, put his charpoy under the large tree hard by, and then let the cow loose. As soon as the cow was let loose, it went scampering about in the meadow, jumping over hedges and ditches, running through paddy fields and injuring sugarcane plantations. The elder thief was not a little put about. He had to run about the whole day and to be insulted by the people whose fields had been trespassed upon. But the worst of it was that our thief had to run about the meadow with the charpoy on his head, for he could not put it anywhere far fear it should be taken away. When the other neatherds who were in the meadow saw the elder thief running about in breathless haste after the cow with the charpoy on his head, they clapped their hands and raised shout of derision. The poor fellow, hungry and angry, bitterly repented of the exchange he had made. So, I am resting the story here. Tomorrow we will dig into the next part of this story. Till then, be with me. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for supporting me. And be happy, be healthy, and please be with me. And I am trying to improve my reading, and the so I think your support is a much more is giving me much more impetus than anything. So please be with me, and please share your thoughts, share your comments. In terms of comments, it may be um, either in YouTube, in my YouTube channel, or in my Daily Hunt space, wherever you like. You can put comment from which I can improve myself, from which I can um, read this story better. So for with this wish, I am bidding goodbye for today. We will meet again tomorrow. Till then, have a good night's sleep. Tada!